So in the previous video, we did some sectioning, and if you want to divide a plane or a face into equal segments, then we went through the process of dividing it by 2, by 4, and even 3, 6, 8. So we have 5, 7, 9 is easy because 9 is basically you divide it by 3, and then each section you would have to divide it by 3. So just to recall, to divide this, okay, I'm just going to go here. We've divided this by 3. Then, if you want to make that 9, you will just take each of those 3 sections and you will do the same process and divide that by 3. So in this case, I'm just going to X this out. Then I'm going to bring a line down here, create that arrow. So now I can divide this. You have these intersections. I now have my 3 smaller sections that are more or less equal. It doesn't look equal here because I'm rushing a bit. But same procedure, you'll do that here as well. And same here. You'll X that out, vertical line, do the arrow, and then your intersection. That's where your 3 will be. And now you can create 9. So I'm just going to bring this up. So right now you can do 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. Let's now go to 5 and 7. To do 5, let's start again with a plane or a face that's facing us. So we will start again with the X. So let's X this out. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to divide that into 2 sections. So you have your first section, then you have your second section. Now, you will take the corner and this vertex, we will do a line. So this line is important. Same thing with this second section. You will take this corner, and then connect that. Okay, so we will be needing these 2 lines. So I'm just going to erase a bit the X that we did, just a bit. This vertical line we will no longer need, so you can erase that a bit. So I'm just going to bring back the X just lightly. So with the X right there, I'm going to bring another line. This time it's horizontal. So a while ago we did the vertical to create these 2 slanted lines. Let's do a horizontal across the middle right there. So we now have one long face here and another long face here. Then we're going to do the corner to corner again. So in this, what you're going to do is you'll take this one corner and go to the other corner. Okay? One corner, go to the other corner. So the corner that you're going to touch will be one that doesn't have the diagonal line. So this one does not have the diagonal line. You will go with this one and you will connect it with the middle part. So we're going to go here. And then we'll do the same for this bottom part. From this, we're going to go to the other side. So the goal, if you'll notice, there is a hashtag going on. Okay, what you don't want to do, so just to demonstrate what kind of mistake can happen. So let's say you've X'd that out. Then you did the vertical. You did the 2. So that's the first step. And then the next, we'll do the horizontal. What you don't want to do is to start from this corner going across, or this corner going to here, or this corner going to there, or this corner going to there. Go for the corner or that point that does not have a projection that's diagonal, which is this one. It's this one. You will go to the middle, not here, but the middle. This portion or that point over there. Same thing with this bottom section. You just copy that, and now you have your hashtag in the middle. So, which is this. Now you can divide it into 5 equal sections because you have now these intersections of your hashtag. We will draw vertical lines going down, and now you have your 5 equal portions. So we can do, I'm now going to do, let's say, the side of maybe a building. So the side of a building, so I'm going to take my vanishing point here on the left. Let's say you want to have, this will be the side of your building. I'm just going to complete that. Let's say you have that. So this is now your building, and then just going to fill up the rest just for, again, best practice. We're just going to fill up the other side or the parts that we do not see. Okay, so we now have, so it's, this will be the face where we're going to divide and place our windows. So we'll divide this into 5. Let's do the same thing. We'll first X that out. First is the X. Right there. Here's the middle. So we're going to do a vertical line. So you have now your first section over here and your second section over here. I know what you're thinking. This appears too small compared to this. But we're following the rules of perspective, and in perspective, this is correct. So do not adjust it. Okay? So we did that X, vertical line. Let's now do the diagonals. From corner to the middle, that's the first. And from here, corner over here to this corner. Well, this is the middle to the corner, so you have this first set of diagonal lines. I'm going to eliminate first the middle, that vertical line, because we won't be needing that. We will be needing, again, the intersection of the X. So the intersection is right there. It's almost hitting the horizon line. So we just need to be very careful with that. And then, so I have now my horizontal line right here. I'm going to do the 2 diagonals. So the first one will start from this corner and goes to the middle. It doesn't go to this corner, it goes to the middle. From this corner, it goes to that middle right there. And we're going to do the same from this, which is this, to this corner over there. So that corner. So if you're going to look at that hashtag, it looks weird, right? It looks like a very weird hashtag, but we follow the rules, and that's what's important. We now have our distorted hashtag right there, and you have your intersections here. That's now where you will be drawing your vertical line. 2, 3, and 4. So you'll now have your 5 equal spaces where you will be putting your windows. So I'm just going to add those windows in just for the sake of demonstration. I'm going to darken this area for the 5 sections. So let's say I want to place a window right smack in the middle of each section. So maybe I could X this one out. And then let's say I want the height of the window to be that. And then I will project from this vanishing point over here and this vanishing point over here. So I have now my first window. And then I want everything to be aligned. So we'll align that there and we'll align that there. Second section, we're going to X that out. And now I have my second window. Third section, we're going to X that out. And then we have now our third window. Fourth segment, X that out. Fifth, so this is going to get really, really small. And the fifth section right here, that's the fifth window. So that is how you divide a face into 5 equal segments. Let's now go to 7. So let's do 7 sections. I'm going to start with a very large face because there's going to be a number of lines that's going to be overlapping and it might confuse. So we're going to start with this large face. We're going to divide that into 7 equal segments vertically. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to X that out. I'm going to X that out. I'm going to draw this in light lines because we won't really be needing this later on in the division. This is just a starting point. Then I'm going to go for a division right down the middle to divide this into 2 equal segments. Okay, so you have 2 equal segments. We have the X vertical line. So the first crucial line will take this segment, and then we're going to draw a diagonal line from this corner to this corner. This is the first crucial line that we're going to need. We're going to do the same with the other segment. So it's that from corner to corner, same thing, corner to corner. Okay, so these are the first 2 important lines that we need. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, you see these intersections right here. These 2 intersections, we're going to draw horizontal lines across that. Horizontal lines. I'm going to draw these lines a little lighter because these are just references. We're not going to really need them for the division. This is to set things up. So now we've divided this into 3 equal sections. Okay, 3 equal sections basing on the intersections right here. Now, with these sections, we'll take them individually. For the first section, we'll draw a line from corner to corner. Second, from corner to corner. And then third, from corner to corner. So let's do that. This is now a crucial line. I'm going to darken that a bit. I'm going to darken this a bit as well. And we're going to darken this a bit as well. So again, 3 diagonal lines across each of the 3 sections. So again, our crucial lines are this and this, what we did a while ago, and these 3. There are now their intersections here. These 6 intersections, that's where you're going to draw your vertical lines in order to divide this into 7 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's level this up a bit. A while ago, we've been doing divisions on the side of buildings and the side of lockers. So let's do a division on the floor or a ground plane. Let's say I have my two vanishing points. I have a left vanishing point and a right vanishing point. I'm going to create a ground plane. So a ground plane, this is where you might put your furniture or whatever. So I'm going to make this fairly large so that we can divide it more. Okay, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, so we have this. This is now a ground plane. It looks distorted, but again, we're following our vanishing points, so that's okay. So what I want to happen, let's say I want to divide this into 7 equal segments going that way. Okay, so it's going this way. All of them have to follow this vanishing point. Okay, so we're now going to do the same process we did here over here. So where do we start? We start with the first step, which is making that light X. So we do that light X over there. So that's the first step. The second step, we did a vertical line down here in the middle. So this is the middle. And since we're dividing the segments this way, I am going to bring a line following the left vanishing point over there. So now it's half. The third thing that we're doing are these two lines. So these are the important lines. This point is this point, and then this corner is there. Let's bring that down. So that line is that line. And we're going to do this line from this corner over to here. So now you're seeing things are starting to get kind of odd. But again, we're following the rules, and therefore this is how it's supposed to look. So you have your two crucial diagonal lines right there. So we look for the intersection. So the intersections here are this and this, so that we can now divide into 3 portions horizontally. So we're now going to follow the right vanishing point for that. Right vanishing point intersects that first one. So I'm just going to make this a little lighter because that's not a crucial line. The second intersection is right there. And now we have that. Okay, so it's here and there, and we have our 2. So this portion up here is that. This 1/3. The second third is here in the middle, and the third is this large thing. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do are these 3 from corner to corner. Second segment, corner to corner. Third segment, corner to corner. So you have this one corner here to the other corner there. This is a crucial line, so I'm going to darken it a bit. So before I go to the next 2 portions, you can already see this is my important line, and this is the important line. We did a diagonal, so now you have your first 2 intersections right there. Let's do the second section, the second third. We're going to do a diagonal, and let's spot those intersections. So this is the second set. The first set is up here, the second set is right here. Let's do that third diagonal from here to here. And now you have again this 2 with our third line. Intersection is here and intersection is there. So we've now found these 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now we can build our dividing lines going down here. We have our points where we will run our divisions. That's the first one. Here is now the second one. Let's go for the third one. Our fourth one is right there. Fifth one is right there. And the sixth one is right there. We're following the left vanishing point for this. Okay. So this is the first, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth. The fourth goes all the way there. The fifth goes all the way there. Sixth and seventh. So I'm just going to darken those lines. With our drawing pen so that you can easily see the final result. So this is the ground plane. And then we're going to run our divisions through those intersections. First, second, third, the fourth is right here. This is the fifth. And this is the sixth. So if I lightly erase that, these are now the 7 equal sections in perspective view. So now you can divide things into 2 segments, 3, we did 4, 4 is just 2 and 2. We also did 5, then 6. For 6, you can divide it into 2, then for each you divide it into 3. Then we did 7, then you know how to do 8, so you divide this into 2, and then you divide this into 2 more, and then same, it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 2. And then for 9, you just divide it into 3 segments. 3 segments, yes. And then for each of those segments, you divide it into 3 for a total of 9. Okay? And for, if you want to go as high as 10, then for 10, then you divide it first into 2, and then you divide into 5. So now you can divide planes and faces from 2 segments all the way up to 10 segments.